All right, let's dive right in. Today, we're going to get under the hood of what happened with Krishana Phoschem and its sudden, really sharp stock plunge. Now, just a heads up, this isn't a buy or sell recommendation. Think of this more as a fascinating case study, a chance for us to understand the kinds of powerful forces that can move a stock so dramatically.
So, on September 29th, 2025, the stock just plummeted. We're talking almost 13% in a single day. I mean, that's a brutal drop, one of its worst in months, and it left everyone asking, what on earth just happened?
So you gotta ask, right? Was this a problem with the company itself? Was it something happening across the whole industry? Or was it something even bigger, something on a global scale? Okay, let's start peeling back the layers and see what we can find. First things first, we're gonna look at the technicals. You can think of these as the immediate clues, the fingerprints left right there on the stock chart.
You know, looking closely, the stock was already waving some red flags. It had already dropped over 15% in just 5 trading days, and it crashed right through some important support levels. And then you have these indicators, things like the RSI and the CCI. They were both basically flashing warning signs.
That really low CCI number points to one specific condition. The stock was oversold. Now, that just means it got pushed down really hard, really fast. And this creates a fascinating situation. Does it mean the downtrend is just getting stronger? Or is it more like a coiled spring, ready to snap back? The technical charts alone, they just don't give us the full story. But here's the thing, and this is a huge clue. This wasn't just a Krishana problem. So let's zoom out a bit and see what was happening to all the other fertilizer companies on that exact same day. And boom, this is where the story gets so much bigger. Just look at these numbers. Yeah, Krishana's drop was absolutely the worst of the bunch, but it wasn't alone, not by a long shot. The entire fertilizer sector was feeling the pain. When you see a pattern like this, it's a massive signal that the problem isn't just one company, it's an industry-wide storm. So if we want to find the real source of all this pressure, we've got to zoom out even further. We have to look beyond India's borders and onto the global stage, because that's where the real trouble was brewing. And here it is. This is the smoking gun, a key raw material for Krishana Phoschem. It's called diammonium phosphate, or DAP. Its price on the global market just went through the roof. It crossed $900 a ton, which is the first time that's happened since 2022. That is a staggering 22% jump in the cost of a primary ingredient in just 1 year. I mean, just imagine you're running the company. A cost spike like that is a direct hit to your profit margins. And you can bet the market saw that coming. And this crazy cost inflation isn't just happening in a vacuum. It's being fueled by some major global issues. You've got China restricting its fertilizer supplies, you've got geopolitical tensions messing with trade routes, and for a country like India, which has to import all of its potash and most of its DAP, this kind of volatility, well, it hits incredibly hard. Okay, so this brings us to what I think is the most fascinating part of this whole story, the paradox. We have all these massive external pressures, right? But what about the company itself? This is where you see a total disconnect between how well Krishana Phoschem was actually performing and what was happening to its stock price. It's like a tale of two completely different stories. On one hand, you see these incredible fundamentals. Revenue is up almost 41%, net profit is soaring over 86%. I mean, it looks like a picture of perfect health. But then, on the other hand, you see what the market was looking at. A stock that had already rocketed up 121% in a year, trading at a really high valuation. Investors were starting to think it was just priced for perfection, in a world that was anything but perfect. And get this, just this month, the ratings agency ICRA basically reaffirmed the company's strength. They gave it a stable A+ rating, praising its solid financial health. This just shows you how good the company looked on paper, right at the moment its stock was about to take a nosedive. So, how do we put all these pieces together? How do we connect the strong company performance, the technical red flags, and the global chaos to make sense of that crazy 12.8% plunge? The truth is, it wasn't just one thing. It was a perfect storm. It was a moment where all of these different factors slammed together at once. The stock's technical weakness made it vulnerable. The sector-wide pressure created a negative vibe. The soaring global costs gave investors a very real reason to worry about future profits, and the sky-high valuation gave them every reason to just sell and lock in their gains. So, for anyone studying this stock or just this sector in general, these are the big things to keep an eye on moving forward. Are those global fertilizer prices going to stabilize? What's the company's plan to protect its margins? And how will government policy play out? The answers to those questions will really dictate what happens next. And this whole situation really leaves us with one powerful final question to think about. In our completely interconnected world, can a company with fantastic fundamentals really stand on its own when it's sailing directly into a global economic storm? I think that's the real lesson from this 12.8% plunge.